Hi, and welcome back to another Rise video. Today we're going to be creating another character, and if you've seen the thumbnail, you might have an idea of what character we're going to be looking at today. Alright, so to get started, let's take a look at our quote-unquote character sheet. So once again, we're going to start out with a character concept, and the character concept I want to go with today, boom, this dude, Love and Thunder, the main man, it's Thor. Link to the artist down in the description below. So here's our our concept that we're going to go off today. Obviously, Thor is a very strong character. We are only going to be making a level 5 character today, so it's not going to be anywhere near as strong as Thor is in the movies or the comics or anything. But I think this would be really interesting and fun to do. So just like last time, we want to start by coming up with some beginning attribute scores for those endurance, strength, accuracy that you can see on your left-hand side there. So we're going to once again go with the first option. For the first few of these, we'll probably stick to the first option of how to make a character. We might end up going with some of the other options for rolling your attribute scores later, but the first option just lets us pick and choose which one of these attributes we want to make which scores. We have a preset list of scores ranging from 3 down to 0. We get 1 3, 3 2s, 3 1s, and 2 0s. So that's what we're going to be working with today. And I think for Thor, we're going to be kind of basing him off of a sort of like a mage and a warrior. We're going to be combining, using this lightning as if it was magic and spell casting. So we're definitely going to need some spell casting points. We're going to need some strength points, things like that in here today. So I want to look at actually giving some intelligence over here to our boy Thor. For sure 2 intelligence. He'll need that as a minimum requirement to get some lightning magic. We might want to increase that later, depending. Let's see. I think we're going to want to give him, for sure, 2 strength. And I think 2 accuracy. Where do we want to... but I also think I want to give him 2 dexterity for dodging things. But maybe we also want 2 endurance. Okay, so I got to figure out where I want this 3 to be. I think the 3 for Thor. Thor is a strong lad. Let's give him 3 strength. So we have 1 more 2 to work with. Is Thor more durable, or is he more able to dodge things? He's a little bit more durable, so we'll put that there. We'll put the dexterity. Thor is pretty charismatic, but for now we'll just give him a 1. We need one more 1 today. Whether it should be in heart, perception, or wisdom. I think we're going to put that 1 point for Thor into his... I'm torn between heart and wisdom. Wisdom is more of like that experiential knowledge. Thor has a lot, but in some ways he can seem a little bit not understanding the way the world works. So I'm going to put that into heart, actually. And I don't think he gets that perception. Things kind of tend to go over his head. So we're going to put it there. That's our starting attribute scores. So next up, we got to get a race for Thor. Thor, I think, I don't have a good god race, but Thor looks very much like a human. So we're going to go once again with a human for Thor. So let's make sure we can get Thor what he gets for being a human. So as a human, Thor has a starting HP of 15, a starting speed of, 3, and MP of 10. So we've got that to begin with. We also know that as a human, we get to gain 1 attribute plus 1 to anything we want. And I think Thor is going to want a point in, let's see, I think honestly maybe this accuracy. Thor is able to like throw this hammer, or actually now he's using that Stormbreaker, the axe. So we're actually probably gonna have to give him some sort of like move object type thing. Actually that might again go under intelligence. So actually I'm gonna put that under intelligence. That's his ability to cast these spells. So we'll put that there. Okay. So next up, we're gonna want to give him any 1 focus, a level 1 focus. And I'm going to actually I suppose I'll put that focus into intelligence of just like this elemancy. Elemancy, and that's a level 1 focus for him there. Make sure we have that. Good. elemency. We also get to roll on this human table. If you want to see, where I'm getting all this information from, that is actually from the Rise system itself. Okay, so I got a 10, which gives Thor. Oh, if you want the proof, I don't know if you can see that. There's a 6 and a 4, so 10. We'll put that into an accuracy focus. So we're actually, I think, is that a heavy weapon or a medium weapon? Let me check real quick which kind of weapon this is going to be, and I'll come right back. Okay, we're definitely going to go with a heavy weapon here. This is we're going to go with calling it a battle axe. That's what he's got there. So I'm going to actually give him this accuracy battle axe focus, or heavy weapons. Heavy weapons. And that is a 1 focus there. Okay, so, and then we need to roll one more time. If I roll the same thing, I get to re-roll. This time I got in, I don't know if you can read it, that is a 5 and a 3, so that's an 8. 8 gives us any dexterity focus that we want. A dexterity focus, so I think we should give him maybe like an acrobatics, because he's kind of flying around in the sky a lot. I think that's kind of either that or balance, but I think acrobatics is the one that I would go with for Thor Odinson. Obviously, I mean, we could put the name in now. Acrobatics, and that's a level 1 focus. But do we want to go with Thor Odinson? Do we give him a different name? I suppose he's definitely Thor, but let's go with something weird like McQueen. If you understand the reference, well, there you go, you understand it. Otherwise, I don't want to blatantly copy that this is Thor Odinson. It's because this is just the concept we're going off of. This is not actually Thor. We're making someone similar to Thor using that as our concept. Okay, I think we're good on our race scores now. Other than, yep, he gets to speak common, and then, okay, we've got the roles that we have finished. So next up, we're going to come up with a background. What would be the background for Thor? All right, one moment. I'll decide on a background, and then I'll be right back. So as I was thinking about the backgrounds, I was torn between like an athlete or even the heir, because Thor Odinson is really, he's the son of Odin. He's the heir to, the throne of Asgard, but we know he doesn't actually take up that mantle. And I just don't think that our character here, that we're Thor McQueen, is not the heir to any throne. I actually think we're going to go with the acolyte background. Thor in the comics is considered to be this god acolyte. So I think Thor McQueen actually maybe would idolize the gods, or maybe even the god of lightning here. So being the acolyte gives us actually a heart faith focus, which kind of makes sense, I suppose. So we'll give him faith here. Faith in what? I don't know. Faith in his hammer, maybe. Whatever. And it gives us a stunt here called Divine Inspiration. And Divine Inspiration gives us, that's cost 2 DP, not PD, DP. It gives us the a bonus to our next ability test whenever we're praying about something or whatnot. The constellation, I would think, that would govern lightning, constellation being the god in the system that I'm working on. Did I mistype PD twice? I literally did it twice. DP. Wow, there we go. Dr. Pepper. Okay, so 2 DP. So, this constellation of lightning and thunder, he is inspired by, Thor McQueen's dedication to using the hammer, going after lightning, and trying to emulate that. So that sometimes, this divine inspiration comes over him as this god is appreciative of Thor's actions and whatnot. All right, so what's our Love and Thunder homie gonna get next? I think we got to come up with, obviously, since we're the acolyte, we get some money, and then we'll decide on how we want to spend that money. The athlete has a starting money of about, credits, 75, so we'll multiply that by 5. Obviously, I'm going to do math right now in my head, and that's clearly 375. If you can't do that fast in your head, there's probably something wrong with you. So 375 starting credits. That was a joke. All right, so let's figure out how we want to spend that money. Definitely we need to get a really good battle axe for him. potentially we might dump all of our money into that. We'll see. Okay. So the best axe that we were able to afford is a steel battle axe. That costs 160. There are much better battle axes out there, but that's all that Thor McQueen here was able to afford. Something that I want to make note of is that we need 5 strength in order to wield this. So we're going to need to make sure we get him up to 5 strength before the end of getting our levelings here. He's definitely wearing some armor. I think he's got some pretty interesting armor on here. I'm going to go ahead and call this more of a studded leather armor for the kind of armor that I've got in the Rise system. So we'll go with some studded leather armor here. And that's going to provide us with 3 physical armor, and it's only going to cost us 40. So we'll get that 3 physical armor in there, reduce that by 40, and that'll bring us to 175. So now what we have 175 credits left. I'm not sure how to spend this. Maybe I got to think about this for a moment. Okay, after thinking about it, I was able to figure out a way to make our steel battle axe better. We're going to make it a durable steel battle axe, meaning it's resisted attempts to break it. It becomes stronger. This thing is not going to break whatsoever, but that cost us an additional 160. So we're down to 15 here. We're down to 15 credits. So that's all he's got left. That's literally it. That's it. We're cutting him off there. Sorry, Thor McQueen, you don't get any more money, but we do have our 3 physical armor. However, I do need to point out that this studded leather does have a slight dexterity penalty of 1. So we will need to make sure we get some armor training. Otherwise, we're going to have a suffered dexterity, which affects our defense, because currently our defense should be 11, 10 plus whatever our dexterity is. But since our dexterity is currently canceled out by our armor, we're just sitting here with 10 defense. Not so great. I think we want to do better than that. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at what our next step is, and that is going to be spending some of these level up points. We have 44 points to spend. How are we going to spend those points? Give me a moment and we'll decide on some point spending. Okay, so we mentioned earlier we need to have 5 strength, and in order to get from 3 strength to 4 strength, that's going to cost us 4 points. And then in order to go from 4 strength to 5 strength, that's 5 points. So this is a total of 9 points that we're putting into strength just so we can wield this bad boy axe here. So that's going to bring us down to 35 points. We also mentioned that we for sure want to get the first level of armor training, which we are able to do. So that's going to reduce the dexterity penalty. So we're going to add some armor training here. And luckily for us, armor training is only 1 point. Armor training, we'll call that rank 1. So that's going to cost us, there we go, and we can get rid of this dexterity penalty, and we're back up to 11 defense, which is a good place to be. Okay, we need to get some spells. We need to get this guy access to lightning spells. That's a huge important task. Now, in Rise, the only way to access lightning spells is through 2 things, either a paladin class where you follow the lightning god, which there's a potential for that there. However, it takes a while to get to that. It takes us a long time. We need to put a lot of points in to this paladin class specified for the lightning god in order to get that. So I think the easier method would be to, and I don't think we're really focusing on making Thor here a paladin. I think he's more of like this spell sword or spell axe kind of guy. So we're going to actually put some points into Elemancy, and we're going to put, Elemancer, and some points into the, I think I call it spell sword or spell blade specialization. But within Elemancy, we first need to make sure that the way the Elemancy spells work is that you need to have fire before you can get to lightning. Sort of like an Avatar Last Airbender thing here. So lightning is that evolution of understanding fire spells. So he does need to grab some fire spells here. And I think we're going to give him just novice fire spells. That's going to cost us 2 points to get those novice level fire spells. We need both of them. Now, we can put 1 point into Elemancer, rank 1. And that will allow us to upgrade our fire spells into making lightning spells. So now we have access to the adept lightning spells. There are no novice lightning spells. And our adept lightning spells, I can share those with you. They would be a parabolic charge spell. So we can target everything near us. He kind of I'm imagining he holds up his axe and a just parabolic axe, like just this big sphere of lightning comes out and targets everything, hitting all things. And then the second one is our lightning spell called Charged Serpent. So he kind of just like makes a straight line dash, hitting everything along his way, dealing lightning damage to everything he touches. I think these are good spells to get. And then we also want to make sure that within Spell Sword, maybe I call it Spell Blade, I can't remember at the moment, that we get the Elemental Weapon spell. So we'll get that. All right, so if we add on the Spell Sword, that'll bring us down to 26 for Spell Sword rank 1. Spell Sword, he's using an axe, doesn't matter. It's unnecessary to kind of address that. Spell Sword rank 1, which gives us some more spells. These will give us like an Imbue weapon, Elemental weapon, and Conjure weapon. So he can do all of these things now. If he's separated from his weapon, he can conjure it to himself. I'm imagining the way this happens is maybe he just pulls it towards him, or he just summons it from lightning, and lightning, and it appears right there. Elemental weapon, he can finally, oh boy, we are imbuing this weapon with lightning, so it's going to deal lightning damage. And then Imbue weapons, we can make it stronger if we want to. Okay, so we've got our Spell Sword rank. I'm wondering, do I want to make a second? Where am I going to put the rest of our ranks here? So far we've got Elemancer rank 1, Spell Sword rank 1. If we went all the way up to Elemancer, I think it's rank 5, we can get, rank 4. We'll be able to manipulate lightning. Just straight up manipulate lightning. It's not as good as it sounds necessarily. It's not like I can just call down a ginormous lightning bolt. That would be a different spell, but we could make lightning do cool things. So we could, in theory, make it so we are just constantly electrified, just so we can look cool. Imbuing lightning into things. We could also move lightning however we want to, shock some water or something. And then if we got rank 3, right before rank 4, we would also be able to then get our master level lightning spells. I'm torn because this would cost us some points, and I don't know if Thor McQueen has the ability to even cast these spells yet. So we're also probably going to have to up our intelligence and elemancy focus too. But I do think choosing the higher ranked Elemancer might be more beneficial for us than choosing the higher ranked Spell Sword, which the higher ranked Spell Sword... Oh, actually, I'm just realizing the rank 3 Spell Sword lets us permanently imbue a weapon of our choice with one of our Spell Sword spells, which I think this is actually closer to a Thor Odin's son here, in that our axe will be permanently lightningified, electrified, because we would no longer have to cast a spell every time we want that to happen. So I think that's what we're going to go for. So let's bring the Spell Sword rank to 3, which is going to cost us 6 more points, bringing us down to 20. This gets us a few more spells and another stunt. This next stunt is going to be called Abracastabia. I really am a fan of coming up with that one, even though he doesn't actually stab people. But Abracastabia, that is 3 DP, which whenever we stunt on either casting spells, whenever we roll doubles on casting spells or attacking with our axe, we can immediately cast a second spell or make another attack action. Let me clarify that. If I cast a spell, then I can attack with the axe. If I attack with the axe, then it lets me cast a spell for free with those doubles points. So it lets us do, really combining these things together, which I like. And then we get that Spell Sword rank 3. So now we have this durable steel battle axe. I think we've put enough into this that we can call it a name. I think we just, at this point, maybe I'll just put in more parentheses here. We're just calling, because we've reached that 5 strength. We're going to call this is our Stormbreaker now. We've finally gotten the axe Stormbreaker. It feels good. Source of power here. Okay, so we've got 20 points left. Now it's time to, I think, up our elemancy. And then we're definitely going to need to get some points into HP because he is looking a little rough, and we need some points in MP. So I'm going to spend 2 points, bringing us down to 18 here to increase our elemancy. That is 18 for an increase in elemancy. That's 2. We're going to want to put... I think we might need to spend the majority of our remaining points in HP and MP. There's a lot I would like us to be able to do. Let me decide this, and I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I've made a decision. We're going to do 10 points in HP. That gives us, each point in HP gives us 3 HP. So this is going to bring us up to 45 HP. Then we're going to put 5 points into MP. That'll bring us, each point you put into MP gives you 2 MP. That'll bring us to 20. Definitely enough to cast some of our spells. But now we're left with only 3 points. And I think the best use of these 3 points is to improve further our ability to cast spells in elemancy. So I'm going to bring that guy up to a 3 elemancy focus. We are almost done now. We've spent all of our points. I wish we had some more. I wish we could have put some more points into our, accuracy or heavy weapons. And honestly, maybe that would have been a better use of it, but I just am really liking the fact that we're just going to hit real hard. Physically, we're going to hit really hard with some arcane damage. He's all about just bam, bam, bam damage. This guy's doing a crazy amount of damage. We need an archetype for him, and I think the perfect archetype for Thor is the Optimist. And I know in some of the movies, don't want to spoil anything, he gets kind of down, Optimist. But he always, his thing is he's overcoming being down. He is, at heart, I believe, an optimist. Yes, things can happen to kind of break him down, but he's always coming back. He's always bouncing back. His motto is live for the moment. That is Thor McQueen right here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Thor McQueen. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you are interested in more Rise stuff, please subscribe to the channel. I am very close to getting to a point where I can really start sharing the files with you guys, and I really want to be able to sell Rise at some point. If you continue watching the videos, though, I'm sure you're going to see a lot of the Rise stuff for free just in the videos. But please subscribe, like the video if you like this. Leave a comment below. What sort of concepts do you want me to see work on next? We've done an Exterminator, kind of Bug Slayer dude, and we've done Thor now. I kind of want to go back and forth between picking characters that I just liked the art of and coming up with something ourselves, and then these like kind of pre-known, we already know these characters like Thor, for example. So I'll probably jump back and forth between those. But if you have a suggestion, please leave it a comment below. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is something I'm really passionate about, working on this Rise stuff. I love it. This is something I came up with because I wanted to make my own system, and I really wanted to make a system that allows for a very wide range of characters where you can kind of do whatever you want to make any sort of character concept that you can imagine. So I'm constantly going to be working on it and adding new things. It's constantly getting updated. And if you want to hear more about this stuff, please subscribe. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Alex, working on Rise. Bye-bye.